Here is my setup I'm doing tonight for comparing the different binoculars. It's about the last half hour before sunset, so it'll be that last little bit up until dark that I'll be doing the comparison. The spot that we'll be looking at is about 1,800 yards, a little shy of, so we'll see how everything plays out. But here's the tripod, bino clamp, and phone mount that I'll be using tonight. Then there's the Sig Sauer Kilo 6K HDs, the Leupold BX4 Pro Guide HDs, Zeiss Conquest HDs, and the Tract Torics. So we'll do a comparison here in just a minute. Sauer Kilo 6Ks. Here is this. I'm finagling a little bit with getting alignment right, but it looks like you can see pretty good. I'll focus in and out a little. See if I can get her where I want her to be. There you go. Oh, not sure what I did there. I switched from one camera to the other when I did that. There we go. But to give you an idea of the distances, 1790 to the houses on the ridge over there. Tract Ultra HDs, and these last two have been 8 power. These are the 8x42s. Those previous Sig Sauers were 8x32s for comparison. But this is that same. These are the Zeiss Conquest. These ones are a 10x42, so a little more magnification. But here's that same ridge, a little focusing in and out. And last up on the binoculars is the Leupold BX4 Pro Guide HDs in 8x42 as well. Let focus a bit. These are the same houses at 1,790 yards. Just a couple minutes after the last batch, still in the last half hour of daylight or so before the sun sets. Alright, just because I can, I'm going to be doing a couple binoculars. This one is the Vixen 8x20. It says under here somewhere. Other side, sorry. 8x20. And once I get her settled in, I'll bring up the video of this one. And here is finally through that Vixen binocular. Took a little more finagling because with the small objective on it, or small eye optic, can't remember the name for that one now, but it doesn't quite want to line up without touching the buttons that makes my phone want to call SOS, so I'm having to hold it by hand, using the holder to sort of hold my depth. But there's that one. And last is another monocular. It's a no name. I think I went the 8x, I have no idea what it is power, but it was inexpensive. It was a little $40 monocular, little no name Chinese thing. So let's see how she looks through it. Should have everything pre-lined up. So I just got to clamp her in place. There we go. Get my phone in there, and here's how she looks at that same house ridge with houses. Playing with the focus a bit. And there we go. And that is the last one. Alright. I'm back, and I'm probably down to the last, I'm within the last 10 minutes of light. Watching this tree. Not bad. I'm on the Leupold now, and at that 650-yard tree, I would say it's at that point of, I could still discern a shootable buck or not, but I wouldn't be able to tell you how many points he has. The SIGs are at the same way, and at the Sigs are an 8x32, and right now they feel brighter than the Leupolds, which are an 8x42. But I feel like that's because the 8x32s have a bigger field of view, and it's quite noticeably bigger. These Zeiss's, I just wouldn't be able to tell how many points a buck was if it'd be close. And most of that is the Zeiss are used by buddies and his toddler did toddler things and removed the eye cap, which is half my issue with getting proper eye relief and a consistent eye relief. But for a 10x42, they are not bad. It's alright, little buddy. Come here. Don't step on the binos. And the tracts. Because I can get proper eye relief better and the eye cups fit my eyes better, they are still holding up brighter than the Zeiss. Not quite as stable now as I was. And they're all about that same point of clarity. At least the two are. Watch your feet, bud. Watch your feet. Sorry, buddy. Still discern with the Zeiss, but they've definitely lost that crispness. Okay, the Sigs hold a little edge over the Leupolds. And brightness and crispness on that tree out there. Zeiss are still pretty dang good. Tracks are right there with the Zeiss. I know, buddy. Maybe we leave soon. Oh, here goes my stability. There we go. This test has gotten hard now. Can't say none of these are bad, but these Sigs and the Leupold are starting to fall off. Yeah, he's gotcha. At this point, I'm sure I'm at or just past legal shooting hours. This has got more difficult at the worst time of day for it. Only the most important time of day for testing these. still don't have to see exactly what it is, but there's a deer coming out in front of that tree now. Let's over to Sig, see how far out she is. He, she, whatever it is. About 300 yards. About 280 is what I'm getting. Oh, wow, in this light, I am seeing the difference in them. I can discern it's a deer with the Sigs and the Leopolds, but that's about it. It's a pretty fuzzy deer. Zeiss. Almost make out features of that deer. And that's a 10x42 Zeiss. And the Tract. About the same. The Tracts and the Zeiss are pretty dang similar, and it is almost dark. Hard to discern that deer. Getting closer. About the same, 270. Alright, so where I would say it, if you were scanning across the field with the Leopolds or the Sigs, you'd see a dark, in my eyes, I see a dark blob that I could discern was a deer, but I can't see any features about it. With the Sigs and the Tracts, I can at least if I can get the focus on it. The Sigs seem, or the Zeiss seem a little more finicky on exact placement. But I can start making out the legs with the Zeiss. Zeiss, I can start making out the legs. The Sig and the Leopold, I cannot. The Tracts are right there with the Sigs, where I could make out legs, and if it was a little later in the year, I would probably be able to start discerning if it had antlers or not. The Sigs, now those ones are a couple years old, heavily used, and have been abused a little bit by a toddler. Still quality, just everything's loosened up a little bit, or the eyepieces are loosened up. But the Tracts seem less finicky than these Zeiss. I think that is right now because the focus wheel on the Tracts are a bit stiffer than what's on these Zeiss. So it's a little more easy to place right where it needs to be. In this light, it is getting hard to discern that is a deer with the Leopolds. Still plenty easy to tell with the Zeiss and the Tracts. If it wasn't moving, I couldn't tell that was a deer through either the Leopolds or the Sigs. She appears as a brown oval in both of those. In the Tracts and the Zeiss, you can still make out the legs and the, barely. But you can still discern those. You can still discern body shape. this current light, the tracks are just ever so easier to see that deer with. The Zeiss are starting to fall off now in this level of light. And the tracks are right there with it. But, oh yeah, in this light, the tracks are definitely a bit brighter. Sorry, Boogie. Here in just a minute, we'll get loaded up, okay, bud? Yep, the tracks are just a bit brighter in this amount of daylight. So that could be the 8 versus 10 power difference. I'll give the other two one quick look again. Here are the Sigs. Just because I know that deer is there, I can still discern her, but like I said before, at this point she is just a darker brown oval than everything in the background. Here's the Leopolds. The Leopolds and the Sigs look the same. The Zeiss are a bit better. And the Tracts are a bit better than this Zeiss. Now, I really do think that the biggest difference between the Zeiss and the Tract are that there is that 2 power magnification difference. But as you can see in the video, it's starting to get pretty dark out here. I'm pretty sure we are well past legal shooting hours, but with the Zeiss and the Tract, I could still discern a deer. If I did a sweep of the field, I could pick out the deer. With the Zeiss and the Leupold, or the Sigs and the Leopolds, I wouldn't be able to discern a deer if it wasn't moving at this point. So that's at least my infield breakdown.